I'm Sergeant Lorne Lecker. I'm Detachment Commander of Deas Island Traffic Services. I've been a regular member of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police for 29 years. 5-year-old Sydney wants to know what an RCMP police car looks like. Well, this is one of our RCMP police cars. We have different size cars. This is one of our larger sport utility vehicles. And all police departments are going to have the word police written on the car, as this one does here. So this marked car has a roof light for high visibility with different settings on the lights, and we'll talk about that shortly. In the front of the vehicle, we have a push bumper, and this is used so if your family, if their car is broken down on the highway and it's risk of getting hit, we can push them safely off to the side of the road. There's quite a lot of equipment in the police car in addition to the lights. Down here on the lower level, we have the police radio, so we can communicate not only with our police dispatchers, but with other police officers and other police departments, as well as the firefighters and the ambulance crew that may be going to different collision scenes. This is our police computer, and through this we get dispatched to calls, and we can write up our police reports. And up here we have the controls for the camera and a little TV screen where we can view what we're recording.
My name's Karis, and I'm 6 years old, and my question is, how do you turn on your car lights?
The actual controls to the light are located on this panel here. The main red and blue lights that everybody likes to see are on this switch. If I turn it to the first position, now it's only recording what happens behind, it's only lighting up what happens behind us. If I turn it to the middle position, now it's going in the front and back. And if I turn it to the last position, now all the lights on the car are lit up, and it's also flashing on and off on the headlights. And this is our maximum light setting. The siren is also located up here, and that's the siren button.
My name is Brady, and I'm 5 years old. How many police cars do you have?
Well, Brady, the RCMP across Canada has almost 12,000 police vehicles. Some of them are cars, some of them are trucks, some of them are motorcycles, and some of them are all-terrain vehicles. But altogether, we have almost 12,000 vehicles patrolling Canada.
My name is Adrian, and I'm 7 years old. What's a ghost car?
Adrian, this is one of our traffic ghost cars that we have at Deas Island Traffic Services. Some of our ghost cars are four-door cars, some of them are pickup trucks, some of them are vans. In this case, it's the same as the one we have marked. You'll notice that you don't see any lights on it in addition to the lack of markings. Well, all the lights that you saw on the other car are built into this car, except they're much smaller and are harder to see when they're turned off. But when I turn them on, you'll see from the front that it still has the same lights. The same siren, same PA system. 6-year-old Oliver wants to know why we use ghost cars in traffic services. When we're driving the unmarked cars, people behave in a more dangerous manner than when we're in the marked cars. And what we want is people never to know when the police are watching. So this way we can not only deter them from driving aggressively when we're in the marked car, but also have them wondering if there's police watching when they don't see us.
My name is Alice, and I'm 6 years old. And my question is, if I don't have my seatbelt on, I'll get arrested.
Well, Alyssa, we don't really want to arrest anybody, and it's certainly not children. Our job is to try to keep you as safe as possible when you're in your car. And the seatbelt is the easiest and best way to keep you safe in a collision. If your seatbelt is making you uncomfortable, what you have to do is check and make sure you're wearing it properly. Because a simple change of your position or the seatbelt setting, well, I'm sure will make that seatbelt much more comfortable to wear.